I kind of need your help. Back in 2020, right after the pandemic started, I started my AuthorTube channel. Now, I didn't know very much about YouTube, how it worked, how people made money. I didn't know very much about AuthorTube. I hadn't spent a lot of time watching author-related content on YouTube because honestly, I didn't know that there was such a thing. So when I first started out, I was shy, I was nervous. Getting in front of a camera is always difficult when you're first starting out. So I started by using filters and making silly videos. I've left them active on my channel if you ever want to check them out. Then I went to some AuthorTube tags, using the filters, of course. I talked about living undiagnosed and my medical conditions and some of the experiences I've had, so my content was all over the map. Then I shared my journey and my experience with trying out Amazon ads, and of course I was an inexperienced author, inexperienced on YouTube, and well, as I got more comfortable, I stopped using filters as much, and at times I did kind of a combination of showing just the real me and with showing the silly content with the filters, merge them together to make it kind of a fun video. I did have people enjoying it. I also had people saying it was very annoying. I did some digging, and it turns out that most authors and writers watching the YouTube content on the AuthorTube network is mostly interested in seeing who you really are as a person. And so I stopped doing so much of that professional, very organized content and started to be a little bit more myself. I'm still working on that. Sometimes I feel like I have to put on a show, but I'm trying to be more myself in my content. So then I also advertised other YouTube channels because I didn't have a ton of ideas for writing and publishing content at the time because it was all still new to me. So instead, I shared some of my favorite YouTube channels and AuthorTube channels, and I also advertised other people's books and so on. So I loved connecting with the other content creators in the writing community and sharing my insight with other like-minded people. So over the years, I have talked about software for writing, editing, and formatting, my writing projects and goals, my publishing company, starting it out, what I'm doing with it, and advertising for accepting submissions. I have done AuthorTube interview collaborations. Those were pretty fun. I also published all of my podcast episodes, but now it's all moved over to the Sable Book Night YouTube channel. I also shared some writing education, which is something that I had intended on keep going with, but I did not. I advertised for other independent authors, and I also talked about other writing topics, and recently I released shorts called Word of the Day. The Word of the Day shorts was kind of fun, but very time-consuming. I did get a lot more overall channel views, but it didn't really raise my subscriber count. So this leads me to where I am asking for your help. If you're new here, please feel free to check out some other videos and come back and leave some comments. Or if you've been watching me for a while, you kind of have an idea of what I have released, but I feel like I need to niche down a little bit better. So here are my questions. Number 1, what kind of content do you enjoy the most on this channel? 2, how do you feel I can improve as a content creator? Number 3, is there something you do not like about my channel? And I appreciate your honesty, so feel free, just try not to use, too many negative words. If you have any other thoughts, suggestions, comments, anything else that you would like to share with me, please go ahead and leave a comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. So it's nice and short and sweet. Sometimes my videos are short and sweet. I don't do a ton of long form content. I have done the occasional live stream, but medically speaking, it doesn't really work as well for me. But please share with me any thoughts you have. Have a great rest of your day, afternoon, evening, night, or whatever, and keep writing. And thank you for your support.